Well, hello and welcome to our program tonight. I hope you've had a wonderful week, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy from the problems that we're having in our country. But bright spot in tonight's program, my younger brother, both of my brothers have a musical gift. They both play. My younger brother plays guitar and flute, and probably could play anything he wanted to, plays a little keyboard. My middle brother, same thing. He plays bass and percussion and trumpet, and there again, probably anything he'd set his mind to, he could have. But anyway, Mick, my younger brother, had helped me do some guitar parts along the way on my albums, and I finally had a chance to get him up here to the studio and record him doing his parts. So you're going to get to see him for the first time tonight on our last song of the evening. So without further ado, let's just get right into the program tonight. For our first song tonight, I'm going to do you a song that was written by Carl Jackson and Jim Rushing. Carl Jackson did a lot of work in the bluegrass area. He was like the MVP for one of the bluegrass organizations in either 2005 or 6. And he wrote this wonderful song, Little Mountain Church, in 1990. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band did a version of it. Ricky Skaggs did a version of it. And it was Song of the Year that year in the bluegrass world. Carl Jackson started out working with a duo called Jim and Jesse. Us older folks remember Jim and Jesse, but some of you younger ones may not. But after working with them for a while, he went to work with Glenn Campbell, and he worked with Glenn Campbell for about 12 years. But anyway, he did a lot of work with the Louvin Brothers and various bluegrass acts. But this is probably his strongest work and the one he's best known for. And I'm going to do my version of it for you tonight. It's called The Little Mountain Church.
My thoughts of yesterday, where friends and family gathered for the Lord. There an old-fashioned preacher taught the straight and narrow way for what few coins the congregation could afford. Resting all our Sunday best, we sat on pews of solid oak, and I remember how our voices filled the air. Mama sounded like an angel on those high soprano notes. When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. Looking back now, that little mountain church house has become my life's cornerstone. It was there in that little mountain church house I first heard the word to base my life upon. At the all-day Sunday singing, dinner on the ground, many were the souls that were revived. While the brothers and the sisters who'd gone on to glory land slept in peace in the maple grove nearby. Looking back now, that little mountain church house has become my life's cornerstone. It was there in that little mountain church house I first heard the word to base my life upon. Looking back now, that little mountain church house has become my life's cornerstone. It was there in that little mountain church house I first heard the word to base my life upon. I first heard the word to base my life life upon.
Virgil and Blanche Brock were a married couple that wrote together some 500 songs. Virgil didn't know anything about music theory, but his wife played piano, and she was well versed in music and composition and that sort of stuff. So between them, they wrote some 500 songs. But this particular song, not probably, this was their most popular song. Hank Williams did a version of it as Luke the Drifter in 1950. And then Pat Boone did a version of it in 1959. And an English fellow by the name of Lonnie Donegan did it. I believe he did it in 1969, but don't hold me to that. I'm thinking that was the correct year. But anyway, the song's been done several times. And somebody even added a recitation to it in 1936. I did not do the recitation in my version because I don't think of myself as a recitator. I don't talk well on records, so I didn't do that part. But some people do that, and they do include that. But this, I'm sure you remember this old song. This is that great song that Virgil and Blanche wrote called "Beyond the Sunset."
Beyond the sunset, oh blissful morning, when with our Savior heaven is begun. Earth's toiling ended, oh glorious dawning, beyond the sunset, when day is done. Beyond the sunset, no clouds will gather, no storms will threaten, no fears annoy. O day of gladness, O day unending, beyond the sunset, eternal joy. Beyond the sunset, a hand will guide me to God the Father, whom I adore. His glorious presence, His words of welcome will be my portion on that fair shore. Beyond the sunset, oh glad reunion with our dear loved ones who've gone before. In that fair homeland, we'll know no parting, beyond the sunset, forevermore. Beyond the sunset, forevermore.
Back when I had my commercial studio and I had people coming in and we were making CDs, most of the work I did was gospel music, a little country here and there, but mostly gospel music. But a lady came in and she had all of her tracks. I mean, one way that I made a living was creating tracks for people. But she already had her tracks, and we got to this one song, and I started listening. And back then, I was working so much between the studio and traveling and singing and you know, performing and what have you. I didn't really have time to keep up with all the new music that was happening, and I had never heard this song. But anyway, she gave me the track, and I started playing the track, and I'm going, wow. I mean, this thing was orchestrated. It was just masterfully done. I don't know who wrote the arrangement to this song, but it impressed me, you know. And I'm going, you know, and now and then I like a little challenge. So I said, I wonder if I can recreate. I wonder if I can create that, because I knew I didn't have an orchestra, and I sure didn't have the money to go buy one. And so I was going to have to do it by recreating certain sounds with synthesizer and all this kind of stuff. And I worked on this song for, I don't know, a month or two. But it finally started shaping up, and I thought, well, you know, maybe there's possibility here. And as of yet, as of the taping of this program tonight, I don't have this on an album, but it should be on album 7. But it's that great song that Paula Stefanovic wrote called Jerusalem.
John saw a city that could not be hid. John saw the city, oh yes he did. John caught a glimpse of the golden throne. Tell me all about it, go right on. Around the throne he saw a crystal sea. There's got to be more, what will it be? I want to go to that city he saw, New Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I want to walk your streets that are golden, and I want to run where the angels have trod. Jerusalem, I want to rest on the banks of your river, in that city, city of God. John saw the lion lay down by the lamb. I want to know everything about that land. John saw the day, but he did not see night. The Lamb of God, well, it must be the light. He saw the saints worship the great I Am, crying, worthy, worthy is the Lamb. I want to go to that city he saw, New Jerusalem. Jerusalem, I want to walk your streets that are golden, and I want to run where the angels have trod. Jerusalem, I want to rest Jerusalem, city of God, it's the city of God.
Chris Christopherson in 1972 wrote a song called Why Me, Lord? And it became the only #1 hit that he ever had. Now, he wrote a lot of hits for other people. Help Me Make It Through the Night, For the Good Times, Me and Bobby McGee, among others. But this was the only #1 hit that he ever wrote for himself. It just became a hugely popular song. I mean, so many people have done this song. The Gaithers did a version of the song. Loretta Lynn did a version of the song. George Jones, Brenda Lee, Willie Nelson, Conway Twitty, Merle Haggard. Elvis Presley did a version. And Elvis used to do it from time to time in his concerts, and it wound up on one of his gospel albums and on one of his live albums. But anyway, I could go on and on about Christopherson. I mean, he's had a storied career. But we're just going to go ahead and do this for you tonight. I'm going to feature my little grandson, Evan, on this song. And it's called Why Me, Lord?
Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you for the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands. Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way I can try to repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I can show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hands. I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus, I know what I am. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, in your hand. Now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand.
This next song was written by a man named Charles Moody. This is a song that I put on my Angel Band CD, and once again, as happened a time or two before, my mom was visiting with me, and I just knew this had a perfect alto part. Mama sang beautiful alto. So I just asked her, I said, Mom, you want to help me do another song or two? Oh, yeah. So we go out to the studio, and she recorded the alto part on this one for me. But I'm not going to string this out too long. Y'all have heard me tell these stories before. But I'm going to get Mama to help me with this one, and we're going to do it for you. That song by Charles Moody called Kneel at the Cross.
Kneel at the cross, Christ will meet you there. Come while he waits for you. Listen to his voice, leave with him your care, and begin life anew. Kneel at the cross, leave every care. Kneel at the cross, Jesus will meet you there. Kneel at the cross, there is room for all who would his glory share. Bliss there awaits, harm can ne'er befall those who are anchored there. Kneel at the cross, leave every care. Kneel at the cross, Jesus will meet you there. Kneel at the cross, give your idols up, look unto realms above. Turn not away to life's sparkling cup, trust only in his love. Kneel at the cross, leave every care. Kneel at the cross, Jesus will meet you there. Kneel at the cross, leave every care. Kneel at the cross, Jesus will meet you there. Jesus will meet you there. Yes, Jesus will meet you there.
Right now, I just want to remind you about our website, www.birdyeomans.com. All my CDs are there. My double CDs are there. My songbook's there. There's a couple of specials that we have there. And just want to invite you to come by and take a look at it. If you have any questions, my wife Linda will be glad to help you. Her email address is linda@birdyeomans.com. And thank you so much for being a part of our program. And now we're just going to get you back to the musical portion of the show. Come time for the last song of the evening. It just happens so quickly when you're having a good time. For our last song tonight, I'm going to do you a song that we don't really know. We don't know who wrote this song. It just sort of, some people think it goes all the way back to England as a folk song in the folk melody, but it had just fallen out of favor. And of course, many of the songs from Europe were brought over here by immigrants. But a fellow by the name of Charles Tillman is the one responsible for us having this song. Now, he didn't write the song, but in 1887, he and his dad worked in evangelism, and they had camp meetings and one thing and another, and he and his dad also had a painting company. But this is an interesting thing. He also worked on a wagon that sold wizard oil. I don't know if I know most of you are familiar how in the old days they would go out in these wagons and they would sell different types of things from medicine to whatever, and often they would have an entertainer of sorts, a singer or a guitar player or somebody that could travel, and had an instrument that could travel. But it would be a way of drawing people to the wagon. Anyway, he worked on one of those wagons. But by 1889, he had begun to do some publishing. He had opened a publishing company, and he eventually released 20 songbooks, different songbooks of different songs. But this song had appeared in a song list as early as 1877. It wasn't in a form where you could tell what the song was. It was just a title, just in a list of songs. So we know it goes back further than 1889. But he published it in one of his collections in 1889, and that's how we came to know it today. And this is on my Gospel Ship album, and of course Anita and Carol helped me with the vocals on that album, but unfortunately I don't have video of them doing this, but you'll hear them in the background. But my younger brother did the guitar work on it, and I did finally get him up to my studio and got him to where I can put him on the stage with me. So we're going to feature Anita and Carol and my brother Mick and myself, and we're going to do this great old song for you. Give me that old time religion.
Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. It was good for our mothers. It was good for our mothers. It was good for our mothers. And it's good enough for me. It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas. And it's good enough for me. So give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Come on, clap your hands and join us. Come on, clap your hands and join us. Come on, clap your hands and join us. It sure sets you free. Makes me love everybody. Makes me love everybody. Makes me love everybody. And it's good enough for me. It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven. And it's good enough for me. That old-time religion, give me that old-time religion, give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Come on, clap your hands and join us. Won't you clap your hands and join us? Come on, clap your hands and join us. It's sure to set you free.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I always enjoy this. It's just the joy of my life to be able to sit here and talk with you and sing songs for you. And as usual, let me also remind you that go by our website, birdyeomans.com, and my CDs and my book and my history and just several interesting things there. And if you have any questions, my wife Linda will be glad to help you. Her email address is linda@birdyeomans.com. Again, thank you so much for being with us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be kind to each other. I love you. I'll see you next Friday night.